In terms of the nominations, all I can say is that we have a nominating committee. They see about 280 shows in a season. This year it was 280, up from about 270. It's very hard work, but they relish what they do, and the result this year is a slate of nominees from across the season, and a very even-handed representation of Broadway, off-Broadway, and off-Broadway. I do think that the things that have happened in the social and political realm since last autumn are reflected in those revivals. Certainly, some more Bartlett Sher and Lauren Ambrose have given us a starchier Eliza Doolittle than we might have expected.
I think it was a very much an off-Broadway season this year. There was a lot of exciting work off-Broadway, and I think that our nominations reflect that. One thing that has changed enormously, I feel, in the last 30 years is there are many more young people who are attracted to the theater on all levels. And I honestly think it's because we live in the digital world now, and because of that, the experience of being in a theater with everyone else, reacting to the actors, it's become more valuable than it might have been 20 or even 30 years ago. Theater is like the last great handmade experience. It will never be the same as it is the night you were there with those people in that room, seeing the performance being done that way.
I think the high school experience is pretty universal for everyone. And also the movie has such an amazing following when it came out in 2004, but still to this day. And people love Tina Fey, and her voice is so special, and Casey Nicholaw is like a music theater genius. So it's the perfect storm.
I also think that the message is still really relevant. I think that a lot of people can come and see the show, and while they can laugh at what it felt like to be living in this like super high stakes drama of high school, there's a really serious message in there, and there's real heart to it, and so I think you connect to it whether you're in high school now or if you're way beyond it. So we're here speaking to a lot of people who are really looking for that message.
I think is so exciting about K-pop is that it is culture that is happening right now, and so our show feels fresh, it feels exciting, it's breaking the mold for what you think can or can't happen in a musical, and also we have like the most badass cast of like 20 Asian and Asian American performers you've ever seen in your life.
And I think even though people are so familiar with pop music and the sound of pop music, I think it's unfamiliar for people to see Asians delivering that pop music. So I think it's so exciting and new for the American audience.
Well, because our show was immersive and unfolded in multiple spaces with a large cast, you're not only managing all the usual stuff you manage as a director, which is the look of the show, the feel, how it moves, but you're also managing how audiences are going to move through a building in time and space. So sort of being like an air traffic controller, you're like landing planes as you go, is an additional challenge, an exciting challenge to have.
There's just such joy in the world of SpongeBob, and I think also with what we did with it. And you know what? The world needs joy right now, and so I think audiences are really excited about that. And I think the other thing is we brought a lot of imagination to the stage, and I think that's something that people really like to see on Broadway.
Preconception about the show is that it's just this 2D cartoon that's been plonked onto a stage, but it's so much more than that. Tina Landau, our fabulous director and creator, her vision for making this cartoon characters into human versions is so mind-blowing and amazing, and it's just such full of joy, this show. Everyone that comes to see it is like, I wasn't expecting it to be that, I wasn't expecting it to be so damn good, and I'm so happy that I've seen it, and that's all we can ask for.
There were a lot of difficult things creating the show. But I'd say one of the things that we didn't really solve until the very last minute is exactly what SpongeBob was going to wear. And what was interesting is at the end of the day, he ended up with one of the simplest costumes. He's wearing clothes. And that was how long it took us to fully trust that Ethan's performance was all we needed.
think the big challenge, which was really exciting, was taking this two-dimensional cartoon character and making him a three-dimensional human. And SpongeBob has to have those like grounded emotions, those real emotions. And so it was a challenge to take, this goofy character and make him real. But it was also the most rewarding part of it.
The biggest challenge was my character does a lot of things that I would never do, some really horrible things. And so connecting with the character was difficult, and my connection with the character was his determination to eventually do something great for his family and to get his family on a different track than he had been on for most of his life.
I'm very aware of my voice, and I rest it when it's tired, and I do a lot of vocalizing to kind of warm up. It's been a blast to kind of create the role. The roles, it's a beautiful role already, so a lot of times you just have to say the lines and it works. That's what having a good show kind of does.
I think everybody in the show is operating at the top of their game, and I think that's thrilling to watch, that everybody is just connected. There's this real sense of community on stage, and everybody is dynamite. And so it's sort of that thing of like playing with somebody better than you. It constantly makes you better. So
I love all of it. The highest point, the Rain in Spain, is a wonderful moment where the atmosphere in the theater goes crazy because it's her transformation. And that's a lovely, lovely moment. There are so many pieces in this production that are spectacular and huge. Yet also the intimate scenes with myself and Eliza kind of crackle with an energy that's very exciting.
When we were given the task of reimagining this show for 2018, the first thing that was most important to us is how do we do that responsibly? And I think what it means to do something responsibly is first and foremost to be honest about the actual circumstances around the show. Once on This Island is set on Haiti. It has the gods of Haiti, it has the history of Haiti, it's set in Haiti. What we needed to do absolutely was to present that faithfully and portray it responsibly, and I hope we've done that. So that was really our starting point for the design.
But I love it because it's real sand. I mean, there's rain coming from the sky in the auditorium, and then there's goats and my chickens. I just took some eggs home yesterday, It's amazing, and it's a gift, It's the first time I've ever experienced anything like this.
The high point for me is Timon's dance. It's an opportunity for me to honor the culture, Afro-Haitian, Afro-Cuban, and just to give them a space to move and dance and let loose.
So you see an animated character, you believe that that's what it is. When you see real humans going through this journey, this fight for connection to each other, it touches us because then we can able to resonate it in a different way. So I think that's why this show is being so successful, that it's touching people close to the heart.
Donna Summer is an American musical icon. Her music is celebrated internationally, and we're finally having an opportunity for people to come together and celebrate the effect and the impact that her music has had on their lives. What they don't realize, though, that she had a journey to get to this. So not only are you celebrating those songs that we love, you're also being able to relate to a human story, a woman who triumphed through a lot of adversity to get to where she was.
It's so special. It just feels like a dream come true. I've always been a fan of J.K. Rowling's work. So to, play a new character is really, really cool. I think it's got like such a good creative team. Jack Thorne and John Tiffany, I think, are masters, as is J.K. And I think the show is about isolation and love trumping hate. And I think that everyone needs a bit of that right now,
I was actually not thinking too much about it because I just had a baby and I was pretty overwhelmed, and he's like a tiny, tiny dictator. But now that I'm here, I recognize how extraordinary it is to be included, especially being part of an off-Broadway show.
In a way, the play is about seeing your parents for the first time
And I think that was an extremely disappointing, devastating, really, like, that relationship will never be the same again. Again, think about what that's like for a child growing up to have that happen. On the other hand, I think that Charlie is able to play out in all of these things that could actually allow him to create a life for himself rather than have one created for him. And so there is a deeper level of, along with that loss in the morning, of satisfaction from when you're able to actually do the thing that you need to do. You may actually find life and freedom in it.
Drama Desk is amazing because it recognizes everybody from small independent companies like ours all the way up to Broadway. And so it means we get to be in the room with a lot of people that we really, really respect and look up to. And that kind of recognition is rare in New York.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very democratic award in that way. Anyone in New York can be eligible working on a show. It's amazing.